Hello everyone, it's Scott O'Motto back for another video in my deep dive series on the mod Dooglamoo Cities for Minecraft. In the last video we made this beautiful garden here, and I added a couple things to it that I want to show you because I didn't mention them. It will also do sunflowers, of course. Those are tall flowers and will produce dandelion yellow. And then we did need to be sure that we left at least one space for the melons to grow on each side of these. I didn't mention that, but that's important. So I put in grass, but just be sure that you have at least one space for the melons to grow. And as I promised, guys, it does get cactus green. So the furnace will go through and produce, burn some of the cactus to make the cactus green dye. Okay, in this video, guys, we're going to look at, we've gone a long way in this series. Okay, and now we're going to get to one of the last, there's only two remaining of the resource industry blocks, and that's going to be the fishery. Okay, and that's a pretty simple block to use, but it's going to give you a nice set of resources. Fish, and then the items that you get, the junk and treasure that you get from fishing. Let's just look at the stats on it quickly. Okay, so the fishery is a 32 by 32 block, so it's a 4-chunk block, and it will produce its own food. Many of these blocks will. The ranch will, the farm will, the garden will. Many of the blocks, and you can kind of logically deduce which ones would. Even the lumber mill will, with apples, produce its own food, so you don't have to worry about that. But it's active from sunrise to sunset. It requests fishing rods, and fishing rods can be made by the carpenter over here. As long as the carpenter has string, then the carpenter can provide fishing rods. We've put one in there to prevent that at the time being, but once we activate this and link it, then it will start getting fishing rods, and then the carpenter is going to start asking us for string, so we need some source of string. Then also it's going to need gravel, and it just wants it if it's going to replace clay. Okay, and in this slab world we'll put some clay, but there won't be any, but it will still want some gravel in its inventory just to cover that requirement. And from that, it'll produce us fish, raw fish of all the types in Minecraft, ink sacs, clay if it can mine clay, and then junk and treasure as you would get from fishing. So a very cool block. It's going to give you a lot of stuff. So let's look at its requirements in the actual placement in the world. All right, so we need to put down the block here, and you can see its area. It's a 4x4, so consuming quite a bit of space. The remaining two I've kept out for the fact that they're 4x4s, and there's some of the easier blocks in reality to use in the mod, and I'll demonstrate that outside of the slab world. But you could see that it doesn't have enough water. It sees 4 water blocks, but it wants 128. Now that's usually very easy to provide. Put it along a river is the most often case that you'll do, and you're going to get your water easily. But in this slab world, I only have 4 blocks, but I just wanted to demonstrate that it will just see these water source blocks along the chunk. So I'm going to cut away quickly and fill in the water, and we'll meet its requirements, and then we'll go forward from there. All right, everybody, I'm back. So I've got the water laid out here, all except for the last remaining block that we need, which will go right here. So I just kind of wanted to lay it out in the slab world so you could see it is just looking for water source blocks. Now it is 8 high, so I'm assuming they could be stacked as well if they were water source blocks, and that would meet the requirement. But regardless, it still uses this 4x4 chunk regardless of how the water's laid out. But when I put the block down now, it'll be satisfied with that requirement. Okay, so again, It's going to ask us for items as the Dooglamoo items do, and I'll go ahead and speed up the tick rate so we can get through that, where it'll ask us for what it needs. And we already know because it told us in the survey tool or in the city planner. And so it's going to want gravel, and then it's going to want a fishing rod. Okay, now it will get the fishing rod from the carpenter. Let's check the survey tool. See, it says it's low on string. The carpenter's low on string now. The carpenter is a crazy beast for string. It loves string. Let me go ahead and set the tick rate back. Tick rate to 20. And we can see that it has been given, and it's caught its first fish already. So it's been given a fishing rod from the carpenter, and it has caught raw salmon and a pufferfish. Okay, now carpenter guy, we already have the fishing rod over there. Okay, but I understand. Just want to make everybody happy. I get that. So string, guys, it's going to have to happen. You're going to have to give it string. And once you give it a measure of string, then you don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't have to give it that much, but a little bit of string. This guy doesn't go through fishing rods that much at about the same rate as the player would fish. And I'm full of wood planks over there, but I'm okay. I'm not going to deal with that right now. So the carpenter will be happy. Again, I do want to have you notice that I am using that clear spam plugin. It's working really well, and Dooglamoo may consider implementing something like this himself to where it's ×5. That's nice. I mean, okay, we're getting all these messages, but just consolidate them down. That's a kind of a nice way to do it. Well, anyway, so this guy's going to continue to fish, and I'm going to let it do so. Let's tick rate 1,000 so we can see all the things happen as they occur, which is always fun. And just let it catch some things for a while. Now, keep in mind, these will be provided over to, in fact, I should configure that, but we're getting raw fish and pufferfish, but these will be provided to the bakery where they'll be cooked. So you can have them cooked, which is nice. No reason, unless you've got a ocelot farm or whatever, a bunch of kitties, that you're going to need all this raw fish. So let's see if we get any treasure. I think I'll cut away for a moment and let that happen and see once we get some treasure, I'll be back. All right, everybody. So the lords of the deep here in fishing have not been very kind to us today. I've AFK'd for a while, and I had a forest fire and all this kind of stuff in the meantime. And really, we got a saddle, we got a name tag, no enchanted books, no enchanted fishing rods, some water bottles, just the real junk stuff. A bowl, rotten flesh. But tons and tons of fish, which I am feeding over into a new distributor here that's handling that. I've had to do a set of distributors while we've been waiting for this. So this is cooking raw fish, and then it's supplying it over here into the warehouse. Actually, that's not true. It's just gathering it there for now. I do have the beef and the pork and all that going over. So we've gotten 32 cooked fish, 16 cooked salmon in the meantime. And this guy just loves to cook. Oh, so now we got a drought. Jeez. Okay, guys. What happens when you AFK for long periods of time. I'll be right back. I'll fix this. Okay, guys. So I restored the farm. You can see the lumber mill, when I had the forest fire, I had to get rid of all that. I did record it, so I'll put that up. Hopefully we don't have a ghast attack. Just kidding. It requires the towers and special settings to do that. But anyway, that is going to be it, I think, for this block the fishery. It's actually pretty simple. I think I will go ahead and go over to, oh, look, we got a tripwire hook. How nice. I think I will go over to my regular world and just show you how you would normally set up the fishery. So let's do that and do the close there. We'll be back. Okay, guys, so here we are over in the Abandoned Cities world here that we created our tutorials on the farm and stuff from the beginning. This is the world you'll see at the beginning. But normally you would want your cities along a river. This is a nice little river, and so your fisheries would just go along the shore of the river, and you wouldn't have to worry about it at all. And you do need to give it gravel in these cases so it can get clay. I'm not sure if there is clay in its area. Let's use the survey tool because I actually have two side by side here. So you can run more than one along the shore area to get more fish and more loot. You know, that's a good way to get some loot. And you can, by the way, name these items in an anvil. So see, this one's named Fishery 2, and I did that inside of an anvil. So whenever it comes up in chat now, I'll know that Fishery 2 is the one that's having an issue, you know. So Fishery 2, you can name them according to your location or what have you, but just name the blocks in the anvil. It'll show in the display. You can see here at the top, and it will use it in the chat. So this guy got ink sacs in different from our other world, and if there was clay in the area, it would mine that clay and replace it with gravel. So that's the thing. Oh, look, tripwire hook. Nice. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for this video. The sun is setting over our kind of abandoned world. We haven't done much with it here, but that's going to be it for this video. I hope you like this series continuing. If so, please show your support and reach out. And anyway, this is Scott O'Mato. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate you, and have a great day or evening as the sun sets. Bye-bye.